Hi, I'm John Waterhouse, and this is Weekday Wisdom. My question for you today is, how do you show gratitude? We just celebrated Memorial Day, and I have a story that really aligns with the idea of expressing gratitude and the spirit of Memorial Day. So I want to share that with you. It's not my story, but it is a compelling story, and I hope you'll find some value in it. Here we go. I put my carry-on in the luggage compartment above my seat and sat down. It was going to be a long flight from the West Coast to the East Coast. I'm glad I had a good book and was looking forward to a nap. Just before takeoff, a line of soldiers came down the aisle and filled all the vacant seats surrounding me. I decided to start a conversation. "So where are you headed?" I asked the soldier sitting next to me. "Petawawa," was his answer. "We'll be there for 2 weeks. For special training, and then we're being deployed to Afghanistan." After flying for about an hour, an announcement was made that sack lunches were available for $5. I would be there for several hours on that flight, so I reached for my wallet and quickly decided I was going to have me a lunch. As I did that, I heard the soldier sitting next to me, ask his buddy if he had planned to buy lunch. "No, that seems like a lot of money for a sack lunch. Probably wouldn't be worth $5 anyway. I'll wait till we get to the base." His friend agreed. And I looked around. All the other soldiers were not buying lunches. So I walked to the back of the plane and handed the flight attendant a $50 bill. I said, "Take a lunch to those soldiers up there." She grabbed my arms and squeezed me tightly. Her eyes wet with tears, she thanked me. "My son was a soldier in Iraq. It's almost like you're doing it for him." She quickly picked up 10 sacks and headed down the aisle to where the soldiers were seated. She stopped at my seat and asked, "So which do you like best, beef or chicken?" "Chicken," I replied, wondering why. She turned and went to the front of the plane, returning in a minute with a dinner plate from first class. "This is your thanks." After we finished eating, I went again to the back of the plane, heading this time to the restroom. A man stopped me on my way. "I saw what you did. I want to be part of it. Here, take this." And he handed me $25. Soon after I returned to my seat, I saw the captain coming back down the aisle, looking at aisle numbers as he walked. I had hoped that he was not looking for me, but noticed he was looking at the numbers on my side of the plane. When he got to my row, he stopped, smiled, held out his hand and said, "I want to shake your hand." Quickly unfastening my seatbelt, I stood and took the captain's hand. With a booming voice, he said, "I was a soldier. I was a military pilot. When someone bought me a lunch, it was an act of kindness that I never forgot." I was embarrassed when applause were heard all over the plane. Later, I walked to the front of the plane so I could stretch my legs. A man who was seated about 6 rows in the front reached his hand out to me, wanting to shake mine. He left another $25 in my palm. When we landed, I gathered my belongings and started to deplane. Waiting just inside the airplane door was yet another man who stopped me, put something in my shirt pocket, turned and walked away without saying a word. It was another $25. Upon entering the terminal, I saw the soldiers gathered for their trip to their base. I walked over to them and handed them the $75 and said, "It will take you some time to reach your base. It will be about time for a sandwich pretty soon. God bless all of you." 10 men left that flight feeling the love and the respect of their fellow travelers. As I walked briskly to my car, I whispered a prayer for their safe return. These soldiers were giving their all to our country. I could only give them a couple of meals. It seemed so little. An American soldier is someone who at one point in his life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America for an amount up to and including his life. Now that's honor. So I share this story because there are so many times that we can find a reason to be grateful for what other people give, for what they do, for the blessings that fill our lives. And how we respond to that really speak to how deeply that gratitude goes into our psyche, into our soul, and how much it affects our lives. And this story is a great example of how to do that. So I wish for you a wonderful day, and I know that you'll find very wonderful ways to be grateful in your life. It will make a difference. Take care, and God bless.